Let me ask you something strange. Why do people happily pay extra for the same shoes, same phone, same jacket, just because a logo is on it? No one teaches you this in college. No syllabus explains why some brands feel like you, while others feel invisible. Today, we're uncovering the marketing lesson that quietly controls what you buy, who you trust, and why some brands live in your head rent-free, till the very last second of this video. Think back to school for a second. You were taught formulas, definitions, theories. Even in business or marketing classes, they teach you things like the 4Ps, funnels, target audiences, and demographics. On paper, it all sounds logical, but then real life hits. You see average products winning markets and better products disappearing. That's when confusion starts, because the truth is, real marketing doesn't happen on billboards or Instagram ads. It happens inside the human mind. Let's make this extremely simple. Imagine two water bottles on a shelf, same size, same plastic, same water. One costs $1, the other costs $5. Logic says you buy the cheaper one, but millions of people don't. Why? Because humans don't buy products. Humans buy meaning. College never teaches you that marketing is emotional first, logical later. Here's something most people don't realize. According to modern consumer behavior studies, more than 90% of buying decisions are made subconsciously. People feel first, then justify with logic. This is why someone will say, I bought it because the quality felt better, when the truth is, the brand made them feel smarter, cooler, safer, or more confident. Marketing is not about convincing people. It's about helping them convince themselves. Now, let's talk about Nike. Nike doesn't sell shoes. If they did, they'd be competing on price, comfort, and durability like everyone else. Instead, Nike sells identity. When you wear Nike, you're not just wearing footwear, you're buying into effort, discipline, and self-belief. Just do it isn't a slogan, it's permission to try, to fail, to move. That's why a kid who never played sport still feels powerful wearing Nike. College teaches branding as visuals, real marketing is psychology. Tesla is another perfect example. Tesla doesn't market cars the way car companies do. No loud ads, no endless feature lists. Tesla markets a future. When someone buys a Tesla, they're not saying, I bought a car. They're saying, I believe in innovation, I'm ahead of time, I'm part of change. That emotional transformation is the product. The car is just the delivery system. This is where college gets it wrong. They teach you to sell things. Real marketing sells change. People don't want a gym membership. They want confidence. They don't want an online course. They want freedom. They don't want skincare. They want to feel attractive when they look in the mirror. The brand that understands this wins, even with fewer features. Let's bring this closer to real life. Think about Apple. Apple products are not always the most powerful on paper, yet Apple users are some of the most loyal customers in the world. Why? Because Apple doesn't talk to customers like buyers. Apple talks to them like believers. Creativity, simplicity, status, belonging. Apple doesn't say, here's a phone. Apple says, you're the kind of person who thinks differently. This is the lesson nobody tells you in classrooms. Marketing is not shouting louder, it's whispering to the right people. The best brands don't chase everyone, they choose someone. They make that someone feel seen. Seth Godin calls this belonging. Humans are tribal by nature. We want to be part of something. Brands that create tribes don't need to beg for attention. Attention comes to them. Here's the painful truth. Most businesses fail not because their product is bad, but because their story's empty. They talk about themselves instead of the customer. They list features instead of outcomes. They sell what it is instead of who you become. And when you don't stand for something emotionally, you're forgettable. Patagonia understood this better than most brands. They openly tell customers to buy less. Sounds insane, right? But that honesty builds trust. When people buy Patagonia, they feel responsible, conscious, ethical. The jacket is warm, yes, but the identity is warmer. That's real marketing. Here's where it gets interesting. In 2026, attention is more expensive than ever. People skip ads in seconds. AI can create content in minutes. The only thing that still cuts through the noise is emotion. If your brand doesn't make people feel something, it doesn't exist. Algorithms change, platforms die, human psychology stays the same. So the real lesson college never taught you is this. Marketing is not about manipulation, it's about alignment. When what you believe matches what your audience believes, selling stops feeling like selling. it feels like connection. And once that connection is built, price becomes secondary, competition becomes irrelevant, and loyalty becomes automatic. And now we're going to break down how you can apply this, even if you're starting from zero with no budget, no team, and no big brand name. Let's get brutally honest now. You don't need $1 billion budget to apply real marketing. You need clarity. Most people think big brands win because they're big. In reality, they're big because they were clear long before they were famous. They knew who they were talking to, and more importantly, who they were not talking to. Here's a simple exercise. Imagine your brand is a person sitting across from someone at a cafe. How do they talk? What do they believe? What annoys them? What do they stand against? If you can't answer this, your audience can't feel you. And if they can't feel you, they won't remember you. Let's use a small creator example. 2 YouTube channels teach business. One says, here are 10 ways to make money online. The other says, I help people escape jobs they hate and build freedom slowly. Same niche, completely different emotional pull. One is information, the other is transformation. Guess which one builds a loyal audience? This is where Brand Up fits perfectly. Your channel isn't about marketing tips, it's about truth, about the lessons people learn the hard way, about removing the illusion that success is formulas and replacing it with understanding. That positioning alone separates you from 90% of channels chasing trends. Now let's talk about trust. In 2026, trust is the rarest currency. People don't trust ads, they don't trust influencers easily, they trust consistency. Brands that show up with the same message, the same values, and the same tone over time feel human. Humans trust humans, not perfection. This is why storytelling beats selling every single time. Stories bypass resistance. When you tell a story about struggle, failure, or realization, people see themselves in it. They don't feel sold to, they feel understood. That's why the best marketing videos feel like conversations, not campaigns. Here's another uncomfortable truth. If your brand tries to please everyone, it becomes invisible. The strongest brands are polarizing. Nike doesn't speak to everyone. Patagonia doesn't care if you disagree. Tesla doesn't explain itself to critics. When you stand for something, you automatically repel someone. And that's a good thing. Think about this like a magnet. A weak magnet attracts nothing. A strong magnet attracts one side and pushes the other away. College teaches you to maximize reach. Real marketing teaches you to maximize resonance. And yes, data still matters, but data tells you what happened. Emotion tells you why. The smartest brands combine both. They look at numbers, but they listen to humans. Comments, messages, complaints, silence. Silence is feedback too. Now, imagine building a brand where people don't just buy once, but defend you online. Recommend you without being asked, feel proud to be associated with you. That's not marketing spend. That's emotional equity, and emotional equity compounds faster than money. Here's the biggest shift you need to make. Stop asking, how do I sell this? Or start asking, who does this help become? That single question changes everything. Your messaging, your visuals, your tone, your audience. In a world where AI can generate ads, scripts, and designs in seconds, the only unfair advantage left is perspective. Your lived experience, your beliefs, your voice. That's why faceless channels still work. Because the idea has a face, even if the person doesn't. So if you remember just one thing from this video, remember this. Marketing is not about getting attention. It's about earning permission. Permission to be listened to, permission to be trusted, permission to matter. And once you understand that, you'll realize why college never taught this lesson. Because it can't be memorized. It has to be understood, felt, practiced, and lived. If this made you see marketing a little differently, that's a win. If it made you rethink how brands influence you, even better. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I actually read them. And if you know someone who still thinks marketing is just ads and sales, share this with them. Hit like if this helped and subscribe to Brand Up, because we're just getting started.